Hey y'all, I'm fixing to run down to April's and I'm going to take them a meal, and I was going to make a pan of brownies for their dessert. So I thought I'd bring you along and give you my brownie recipe and let you watch me make them. So I'll bring y'all over here, probably just go on over to the mixer and I'll tell you what we're doing and we'll get them in the oven. The recipe calls for a stick of melted butter or a half a cup, and I've already done that in my good little OXO that I can have boiling hot stuff in it and it doesn't burn my hand. I'm going to keep this out because I'm going to have to melt another stick for the icing. But I'm going to add a cup of sugar to that. And this is a half cup measurement, so I'm going to need a couple, of course. I'm going to go ahead and whiz that to try to cool that butter down a little bit before I put my eggs in. And it takes 4 eggs. I love my little egg holder that I got at TJ Maxx for just nearly nothing. It's pretty. Okay, let's get them in. Okay, let me get a spatula. I've got the blade in here, or the paddle in here, that has the scraper on it, and it really does help. Okay, I'm going to add now 1 cup of flour. And I'm going to go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of vanilla in. Let me get it mixed and I'll bring you back in a minute when I'm adding the chocolate syrup. It called for a can, a 16-ounce can, but I couldn't find a can, so I'm using the 16-ounce plastic bottle. Now in the icing you just use regular cocoa. Probably should have had this standing on its head, but I didn't. So I'll keep drizzling it in here and we'll be back in a minute and get it mixed up. I think I about got all out of that bottle that I can get. Ooh, that looks good and chocolatey. I've already sprayed with cooking spray my pan, and it's a 10 by 15 inch, and that's what it calls for. So I'm just going to get my dough in it, and then we'll get it in the oven and get it baking. And I double checked my recipe again to be sure I didn't forget something. It did not call for any kind of leavening in here, so I'm assuming that the eggs are going to help with that. It's going into a 350-degree oven for 30 to 45 minutes. When a toothpick comes out clean, it'll be ready. Okay, the brownies are out of the oven, and they actually were done in 25 minutes. So be sure when you cook it that you use your toothpick, and when it comes out clean, it's ready. So they've got to cool a little bit, and then we'll put the icing on them. We'll be right back making icing over at the booze block. Okay, we're going to get the icing made, and it takes 3 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. I've got it over here in this. This is one of the modular mates from Tupperware. And I think I'm going to have a party, and I'll put it on my Facebook, Apron Strings Facebook page, the link, if there's anything that I use that you want, because the modular mates are on sale right now, and I want to order a few more. So I think I showed y'all how I've organized my cabinet with them. Okay, 3 cups of powdered sugar. I'm going to pause right here a minute because I want to go show y'all how I organize my cabinet. This is the super oval the biggest, 4 or 5. But see, I've put everything in them, and I can just reach in there. Now this is one of the rectangles, but they're made to where you can stack them, and I just absolutely love them. This is, see, and you don't have to worry about bugs getting in stuff, and it keeps. So I'm going to order some more modular mates. So I'll put my link when I get my party scheduled, and y'all can see if there's anything you'd want to do, or if maybe you would want to organize your cabinets. It's just so nice and handy. Then I used my little brother label maker, and I've labeled everything, so I can just reach up here and get what I want, and it sure does make it easy. Okay, after the commercial's over, I'll go ahead and get on. Oh goodness gracious, I'm such a mess maker. And then I always try to get the air out to be sure it's going to stay fresh. By the way, modular mates are approved by the U.S. Army for water and air tightness in moving and shipping, so that's a good thing. I've showed y'all this before. This is just an old syrup container, but I put my canned milk in it because I never use a whole can. So this is going to take 4 tablespoons possibly. Don't know for sure. Okay, I've got 3 cups of powdered sugar, and I need 4 tablespoons of cocoa. And I'm just going to get my whisk and combine that. And I'm going to add my melted 1 stick of butter that I did in my little OXO. And again, I told y'all I love it. You can pinch it to pour with or whatever. Doesn't get hot. It's silicone. I'll mix that some. I should have used my dough hook. It's gumming up in there. I need a teaspoon of vanilla. You know, I was supposed to bring this to a boil in the microwave, but I'm going to try to continue what I'm doing here, because I didn't read my directions again at the end. And it calls for 4 tablespoons. I guess the reason you bring it to a boil is because you want that sugar to harden. Maybe I will put it over into something and put it in the microwave. Just a minute. Okay, y'all, follow the recipe card exactly. I had to put this in the microwave to melt everything like you're supposed to. So the exact directions are on there. I don't know what I was thinking. Usually when you ice with confectioner sugar, you don't heat it. And I just wasn't thinking about how this one was a little bit different. And I'm just going to put this icing on it, and it just sets up to where you can cut them and serve them. Be sure there's some running down the edges where it's pulled away from the pan, because you got to get that icing on everything. That makes it taste better. Well, if I could stay on the highway here, it would help. Okay, let's let that harden, and I'll be back in a minute to show y'all when I cut it. Okay, y'all, I've got it all iced, and the part that's been up here on the edge, it just flakes off in pieces. So it's hardening, but it's not hard enough yet. But I wanted y'all to see the pan before I start cutting. Okay, here's our brownies all plated up. Let me just tell you, they're rich, very rich. You need a glass of sweet milk with them, or some plain water, but plain water's not very tasty. I have several brownie recipes, but this one's really my favorite because it's something about that Hershey syrup that you put in it that just makes all the difference in the world. I hope y'all will try this and let me know how you like it. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to make them, and everybody likes chocolate just about it. And I don't know too many people that don't like brownies. So I'm going to make some little people happy, because I'm going to run this down to April's along with the casserole, where they'll have a good lunch. And I'll be back to see y'all in a day or two. Take care of yourself. The good Lord bless you.